Hello and welcome to the Boomtown Hoops postgame show. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me today, as always, we got Cody Beat, Jesse Post here, and Jamison Maxwell. We're here to talk about Oklahoma City's 119-101 beatdown in Denver. This was a bit of a start to a rough patch of games the Thunder have ahead of themselves, and this just didn't go very well. Ever since the second quarter, everything kind of fell apart. But that's to be expected with this type of team. Cody, I'll let you start on this. What happened in this game, and really what were your biggest takeaways from tonight?
Yeah, I think what happened, Denver made some adjustments after the first quarter, really put an emphasis on trying to lock down Shea, with Gary Harris out there playing some really good defense. And then, they just kept force feeding Jokic in the paint. And there's really not a whole lot that the Thunder could do against that. They outscored them 58-41, 66-44 in the paint. Sorry, I was looking at rebounds. They out-rebounded us 58-41. But yeah, it was just it's tough to deal with a player like Jokic. He's probably top 5 player in the league right now this season. Definitely up there in the MVP discussion. So, yeah, just a tough game. And Denver's about to go on a really big road trip as well. So this was a game that they really needed to get. And so they came out with a lot of energy and definitely made it happen. Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. The Nuggets, who have had, not the best start out of the gate, this brought them to 500 at 7-7. But, they fought hard. They played well. A lot of people obviously focus on Jokic's major impact against the likes of Isaiah Roby and Darius Bazley, but also Paul Millsap had a pretty solid night as well. 13 points, 12 rebounds, a great performance out of him. And I mean, when you have guys like Isaac Hardenstein beating us up inside, that's when it's a tough night. But that's just how this team is constructed. That's okay. We'll move on. Jesse, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, I thought we kept up okay in the first. I think Jokic is the only Nuggets player that really played well in the first for them, but it was like as soon as everybody else kind of caught up, we were just out of it from there. So the first was fun. Jokic, I mean, he did what we all kind of expected him to do. We didn't necessarily have a good matchup for him this game. I do think Roby played well, but that was a really big ask of him this game with Al Horford out. So
Isaiah Roby, this close to a double-double. He received the venerable Riverwind Casino, no free ads, player of the game from the Fox Sports broadcast. So good on him there. He's not my player of the game, but he was that close to a double-double. So good on Roby. Jamison, your thoughts on tonight's game? Also, shout out to Nate's and 5 for bringing up Dort clamping the third best Canadian in the NBA.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the first quarter, even though it was close, I knew it was going to be bad news when it came down to Jokic. Isaiah Roby had no business in stopping him on the court. And I said, just wait till Mike Muscala gets in. It's just also going to be ugly. Comes in, just bullies Mike Muscala. Just imagine if Jamal Murray just had an ordinary game like he played in the bubble, how much uglier it could have been with this team. We were not matched up to play Denver at all. And Denver is a horrible defensive team in the league, and that's part of the reason they were sub 500 coming into this. And whenever we can't keep up our offense performance the way we played in the first quarter for the next 3 quarters, it's going to be ugly versus Denver.
Well, also something that probably won't reflect in the box score to people tomorrow morning is the fact that this could have been a lot uglier if it wasn't for the likes of Justin Jackson and Moses Brown, really providing the Thunder with a little boost at the end to make it look not as bad. Great performances from, some of the C team out there. Jamison, any particular player kind of in garbage time that really stood out to you?
Not really. It's a shame. I was hoping Pokey would get out of his slump, 0-7. It honestly, just to talk about him, it's just honestly sad because I just feel like he's not adapting that well to the NBA game. His shot, and a lot of people say that push shot doesn't have a lot of arc on it. It might have worked in the Euro League with a shorter 3-point line, and right now in the NBA, obviously it's just not working well for him. You could tell there was one shot in the game where he pushed it more with his chest so much that he went long. As soon as a shooter's starting to doubt how they shoot the ball, it is going to be a bad rest of the game. So I think he needs to get in the gym, figure some stuff out, get a shooting coach with him because things aren't working out right now.
Yeah, just in general, like some shots tonight just looked off. Even in the first quarter when the game was pretty even, and not just Poku, but everyone just kind of looked a little off. I don't know if it was a couple of days off what caused it, but just kind of a gross performance from the get-go from the Thunder. But Jesse, anyone stand out for you amongst the C team?
I mean, I said I wanted Moses Brown to play. They did put him in at the end of the first, and I think he fouled somebody on a 3 straight away. So I wasn't super impressed with that, but I did think towards the end of the game he did okay. It was nice seeing Josh Halsum. I thought he had some very SGA-like moments, even though he did get the offensive foul. And then I think he caught the ball out of bounds at one time. So I would say out of the two, maybe Josh Hall impressed me a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. That when you're really kind of picking through some thin moments. I mean, sure, we do have future MVP Bol out there, so you got to kind of measure your performance pretty good against their any performance against that legend is solid, but it's tough to kind of pull stuff from that. Anyways, Cody, your thoughts on some of the guys, the unsung heroes tonight? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are playing garbage time, at the end of at the fourth quarter. No one was really super impressive. I mean, it's, basically glorified G League players going against them. So, I would say Justin Jackson at least, hit all of his shots that he shot. He's always out there. If he's going to get in the game, he's going to shoot the ball. So at least they went in tonight. Like Jesse was saying, Moses Brown, he's out there, doing things, good or not. He's out there trying. That's what you can really say about these guys. They're at least, giving it all. They have a lot of effort out there. They're playing hard, even when they're not, performing that well against another team. So,
yeah, absolutely. And while they might have been trying their hardest, and we are focusing on some of the players you don't hear a lot about, there were players that regularly play who were decent, mainly just being Luguentz Dort. In fact, I think we could just roll straight into MVPs. Got to give Lou my MVP for tonight. 8 for 11 shooting for 3 for 6 from 3, solid 5 rebounds and 20 points from Dort, leading scorer for the Thunder. Just an all around, that's a 3-and-D type of performance you want to see out of Dort. This guy's really taking his performance up to a next level. And that is why he is my MVP for tonight's game, in a game full of non-MVPs other than, the collective thing we call the tank, who definitely, the mythical tank definitely won tonight's game without a doubt. But anyways, Dort's my MVP. Jameson, who do you got for your MVP tonight?
Yeah, it's got to be Dort. And the more this season goes, the more I'm realizing giving Dort a Tony Allen ceiling is a little bit crazy. I never really liked the Marcus Smart comparison. I feel like it was a little off, but now it's looking more realistic. The way he creates, the way he makes decisions, the way he's finishing at the basket now is something I did not expect to see from him this season. He has polished up all of his rough edges from the last offseason and made himself into a competent guy that if he was on the trade market, he is not on the trade market for the Thunder, would probably take a first-round pick the way he's playing right now, which is crazy to say. And I truly, truly believe that because there's honestly no better contract in the NBA right now if he keeps up the way he's playing. 45% plus from 3 and one of the best potential, all defense guys in the league is extremely valuable in this league. You saw what Robert Covington got? That could be a ceiling if he keeps up and staying consistent.
Not only that, but Robert Covington, it was an asset on that Rockets team last year. We know that straight up from what we saw. He changed that series. Without Robert Covington, I think the Thunder probably beat the Rockets last year. So not only what you can get for a guy like that, but what he provides on the court, that is a valuable asset for sure. And to get him at the price we have is just bonkers. So great deal there. Super movable deal, but hopefully Lou Dort is a Thunder for life.
Yeah, definitely not saying we should get rid of him. I'm not in full tank mode here. I'm just saying it's nice to equate what is the value of Dort right here. Who would have thought that he could be this? Because at Covington, I think got two first.
Something like that.
It's honestly ridiculous just to think of how well Dort's doing. And okay, we can play the game. How many games are we in? 13 games. But he's consistent every single game.
And for the record, before Thunder Twitter go after us and everyone, we do not want to trade Dort. We love Dort. He is a valuable asset and should be protected. We're just talking hypotheticals here, folk, because he is a valuable piece in general. And you should be happy to have that value on your team. Jesse, your thoughts on Dort tonight?
Yeah, I thought he had a really solid night. I think there's nights where he's just aggressive from jump, and I felt that he was tonight. It was nice to see that when I didn't necessarily feel that from SGA. My player of the game, I'm going to go Isaiah Roby, though. I don't think he won this matchup against Jokic. That's not what I'm saying. But I think there were moments where he was at least frustrating him. I think we saw in the third, he picked his pocket, but then he blew a tire. I think he had 5 or 6 offensive rebounds, 4 steals. So I think there was enough there to be excited about, even though he didn't necessarily win this matchup tonight.
It was definitely an effort-based performance from him because he was a little bit, skill and, size overmatched. Jokic, one of the most skilled big men we've ever seen in this league. One of the greatest assisters we've seen as a center. So, definitely a tall task for a guy starting in what is, single digits NBA game. But he went at it really hard, got a solid stat line. And, for that, I believe he deserves a round of applause. Definitely not a clamp performance, a incredible performance, but certainly a courageous and brave performance out of Isaiah Roby, and one that resulted in really solid stats for sure. Cody, your MVP for tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dort as well. He's made 31 threes already so far this season. He made 30 all of last year. So he's really just been in the lab, trying to perfect his craft and shooting. And he's just been, pretty aggressive to the start of this season. Really has evolved his game. The sky's the limit as far as what he's going to be able to do if he can keep shooting like this and still have the confidence to drive to the bucket as well. So, his offensive game is just coming into form and still one of the better wing defenders in the NBA so far. And he's only in his second year. So, really excited to see how this season goes for him. Yeah,
exactly. So can we start pulling the Boston Celtics move of being like, he's just a sophomore? Look at all the young. Can we start kind of pulling off this Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown stuff with Dort yet, in terms of he has so much room to grow? I mean, obviously it's a totally different thing. And honestly, we're going to be bored. So I don't know. We need to come up with conjecture for games like this along the way.
Oh my God. We just compared Dort to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and threw out his grade as a first round draft pick in one episode. This is going to enrage 2 ends of the Dort folk. It's going to be bad. We need to get back to the middle, Bobby.
I love it. We're too pro, let's make the most of our assets for one end of the Thunder fandom, and 2, I don't know, optimistic for the overly rational folk. But that's who we are. We're a melting pot of Thunder opinions. I couldn't be happier. But any final thoughts on this garbage heap of a game at Mile High tonight before we wrap this up? I don't even know why I asked. This was bad. But hey, thanks all of y'all for spending your I guess, nightcap with us. And, or, if you're watching on replay, spending your morning, I'm glad we informed you of our horrible Thunder game tonight. Anyways, we will be here with you all the time, every game, through the good and the bad. And if you want to talk some Thunder, hit us up on our Discord channel. You can find that on our Twitter, every single platform we're on. We'll link you right to it. It is a place for Thunder fans by Thunder fans. And hey, if you like chatting with us on here, you'll like chatting us with us there as well. So, anyways, for me, Jesse, Cody, and Jameson, this has been the Boomtown Hoops postgame show. We'll see you on Friday when the Thunder take on the Los Angeles Clippers in Playoff P. Until then, have a good night. Thunder up.